Well, hey folks, and welcome to SolarCabin channel. I got a real treat for you today. You get to watch me cook. And if you know anything about off-grid homesteaders, we do love to eat and we do love to cook. And I got a nice little frying pan sent to me. And I'm doing a product review on this because they say that you will throw out all of your other frying pans after you have this frying pan. Now, I have to say, I am skeptical, because I am a cast iron fanatic. I love cast iron frying pans. I've been using them, I grew up with cast iron frying pans. So I'm going to compare this and see whether I'll actually throw out my cast iron frying pans. But before I show you this pan, I'm going to show you also some of the other pans that I've used over the years that I will be glad to get rid of. So let me show you this product. It's called the Rock. Now with a name like that, you know this thing had better be good, okay? It is called the Rock. It's made by Starfrit, and Rock Tech patented technology in making this pan. Now, I looked on their website. Because it is patented, they won't actually tell you the process of making it, but they say that they use steel beads somehow in order to make the surface, and the surface actually kind of has a grainy feel to it. That's one of the first things I noticed. It has kind of a grainy feel to it. Which is interesting because so does cast iron, also has that grainy feel. It's not like Teflon that's really smooth. Those little grainy pockets are actually good because what it does is it keeps the meat so it doesn't stick, because the oils and stuff will stay in those little grooves so that it stays, so it doesn't stick to the meat. It also has a handle on it that's rated, they say, up to 400 degrees, so you can actually put this pan right into your oven, they say, up to 400 degrees. Now that's important because, like I said, with cast iron, one of the reasons that we use is we can throw it right on a fire outside, or we can stick it right in an oven. So if this will hold up to use in an oven, that's an excellent feature there. And it has a very good aluminum bottom. And I'm going to take this off so we can see what we're doing here. It's got an aluminum bottom. That's thick. Good thick aluminum bottom. And it's got a nice pleasant look to it too. Not that I care so much about how a pan looks, but some people do. So let me just take this stuff off of here. There we go. Don't need that on there to cook. Alright, so that's the pan that they sent me to review here. Now, let me show you what I've been using at my cabin here to cook in. So I just set this aside for a minute. Now this is one of the pans that I've been using. Now you can get these anywhere. They're just grocery store model pans. Hear the difference? I think they're tin. I don't know what they are. They say they're Teflon coated. They usually work well for about the first couple of times you cook in them. Then you can see what happens. I've got burnt on crap, and I've scratched the Teflon off because I'm a hard cooker. When I cook, a lot of times I'll stick a knife in there and I'll cut the meat right in the pan. I'll cut my vegetables up in the pan. So pans like this, they're, you buy them cheap. They say, a pan like that will cost you $10 or $12, and then you end up having to throw them away after a few months. They're garbage. They're really not worth it. So that pan I can already tell I'm going to replace. Now, the other pan that I use that I will probably not be replacing is cast iron, and I have a set of cast iron pans. This one here actually belonged to my grandmother, was passed on to my mother, and down to me. But there are some drawbacks to cast iron pans, which I'll be honest about. One is they are a tool that requires maintenance. If you don't keep them oiled up, then they're going to rust, and you're going to get rust inside, and you're going to get rust in your food, and it looks nasty. And so a cast iron pan, you can see this one has a little bit of rust. It needs to be treated up. A cast iron pan has to be taken care of. The other problem with a cast iron pan is they're heavy. This little frying pan weighs about as much as that Rock does. Okay, they're heavy, and I've got some that are twice this size that I have used over the years that I've collected. But I still do like cast iron because they will hold the heat in. And so that's what I'm wondering about with this other pan, is that it's really thick, and so will it hold the heat in like cast iron? If it's as good as cast iron, then that's a real plus in my book. So we're going to see if this new pan called the Rock Tech patented pan with a good solid aluminum base, fairly hefty pan. We'll see if this will do the job. I'm interested in, will it hold the heat in? Will it cook and not stick? And is this surface the type that I can, cook in? Can I cut my meat and stuff in it without it scratching up? So I'm going to put this to the test. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to throw some steak and some stir-fry vegetables in here and put that on my stove, and then I'll cook it up, and we'll see how it does. So give me just a second and we'll get that set up. Alrighty, so I got me set up for dinner here. I've got a nice steak and some stir-fried vegetables in there, and I did spray the bottom with just a little bit of the flavored oil, just to add a little flavor to it, and also because I know any pan will stick right off the bat when you stick it on with fresh meat if you don't let it heat up. So I put a little bit of that on. Now, just to tell you a little bit more about this product here, it says our unique manufacturing process uses small steel pellets impact technology to modify the surface to form an ultra-durable rock-like finish. The result is an outstanding release performance, 3 times better than traditional non-stick cookware made by Starfrit, and it is called the Rock. So now I'm going to stick this on my stove and cook it up, put a pan on it, and then I'll see if that comes out of there without sticking, and if I can cut my meat in there without it damaging the pot or the pan, and see how well it compares to cast iron. So let's get this baby cooking. Okay, folks, so here's the real test. I've cooked my steak and my stir-fry vegetables, and I did cut the steak in half. Now, when I cooked this, I kept the steak just in one place, and then I flipped it over and let it cook on the other side because I wanted to see if it was going to stick, and then I cut it in half to see how well it would do, because a lot of times I'm cutting up food and meat and stuff in my pan, so I want to make sure I'm not scratching it up. That it'll hold up to the kind of abuse that I put it in. Now I can already see that it's got some stuff just a little bit stuck to it, but I'm going to see how well. That's part of the test, is we're going to see if that cleans out. So here's the real test. Will this food just kind of slide out of this onto my plate and see how we do here? And I could do this better with 2 hands. And that's not bad. There's a few of the little noodles and stuff stuck in here, which I'm going to wipe out and put on my plate. But then we're going to test this. There's my food. Don't that look delicious? We're going to test this because when I cook, a lot of times, I love to cook, but I hate to clean pans. I hate to wash dishes. So what I'll do is I'll just put just a little bit of water in this while it's still kind of warm, and then I'll take just a rag or a paper towel and just wipe it out. Now, if this comes out clean, like my cast iron pans do, then I will say that this is a very good pan. So let's go ahead and put that to the test. I'm going to get a little water in this and a little paper towel, and we'll see if this cleans up. Okay, folks, so all I did is I just put just a little bit of water in that warm pan, took a paper towel, and that thing just wiped out just clean as new. And I looked to see if there was any staining, because I thought with those little rough surface that it might stain or something, but it doesn't at all. It's every bit as good, wipes out just as clean as cast iron, I can tell you that. And it actually cooked very fast. It's still holding the heat. Even though I took the food off several minutes ago, the pan is still warm. So that tells me it does the same job as cast iron, but the handle is cool, and that's one problem that you have with cast iron, is with a cast iron handle, if you tried to grab that, you'd have to have a hot pad, otherwise you'd burn your hand. And so with this, it has a nice cool handle, but the pan is still warm. And that's good. That shows me it's doing its job and it's holding in its heat. So, overall review of the Rock made by Starfrit. I think this is an excellent product. I don't know that it would replace cast iron, because we use cast iron a lot outdoors and cooking directly on the fire. I didn't put this to that test, but I will say that for cooking in your house, it would replace cast iron because it's lighter. It's just as easy to clean. It has a very good durable surface that won't scratch when you cut stuff in it. It does have a handle that can handle up to 400 degrees, so you can put it directly in the oven. So I like the product. I can recommend it. I will put the website link in my comments if you want to go check these out. And I appreciate them sending me this great pan, because now I'll just put this back on my oven or my stove, and I'll be ready to cook my next meal. Thanks, everybody, and have a great day.